There are three main components when it comes to moving. First, saying goodbye to the old place. For me, it's my toy room that brought me so much joy. The second part is packing everything up. I've been packing my figures for the past 2 weeks. I don't have time to wrap every figure, so I've wrapped what I can, especially the ones that are cel-shaded and the ones that are more precious. And now all there's left is the final step of the move, the actual move itself. Movers are gonna handle all the furniture and other regular everyday items, and I'm gonna personally move the toys and displays myself. I'll rather take on that responsibility. If anything happens to them, it's on me. Since the majority of my displays are made out of paper and are irregularly shaped, I can't really put them into boxes. So my strategy is to put them onto these lids, so that I can transport and carry them without physically touching them. It's gonna take a couple of trips, but I can fit quite a bit of them per ride. And with the magic of editing, I have arrived at my new place. This is gonna be my new toy room. It is smaller than my previous one. My old room was rectangular shaped. I saved one wall for my glass display cabinets. That was my main wall, my pretty wall. All the other figures and displays were on the shelves on the other wall. What about the other half of the room? That was my workspace. The wall you see in all my videos is the wall on the opposite side of the shelves. I wanted to do a behind the scene of the workspace, but I never got it tidy enough to show on camera. Just pretend it's a neat and tidy workspace. But back to my new room. Because it's smaller and square shaped, I can't really do the exact same layout, where it's split between my toy displays and my workspace. So I've decided I'm gonna make this purely my toy display room. That way, there's no mess and I can have more room for my collection to grow. I really like how my wall looked from before, with all the glass cabinets next to each other. So I'm gonna replicate that. And because this room is a little bit wider, I can actually fit 2 more glass cabinets against the wall. Except IKEA discontinued the D12 shelves, so I'm forced to get these inferior ones. But dimension-wise, it's perfect. And I still have 2 more walls available. So let me bring those other shelves in. Alright, this is what I'm thinking. One of these 4x3 Kallax shelves on each side. And I want a little island in the middle for the giant displays. I have a tabletop already. I just need something to prop it up. And speaking of propping up, this room has a much higher ceiling, which means I have even more vertical space to use. I've seen others raise their glass cabinets up with horizontal shelves so that there's even more room for storage. I want to do that too. But I gotta measure everything and make sure the dimensions work out. But that'll be somewhere down the line. Let me continue with the move first. Alright, first trip is done. Let me unbox the Hot Toys figures first. There should be 0 damage on these guys as they're in the original packaging, and I personally moved these myself. Starting with my first Hot Toys figure, the Milk edition of War Machine Mark 1. At the time, all the War Machine Mark 1 figures were super popular, as they were impossible to find. So it felt like it was meant to be when I encountered this second-hand one at a toy store. I love the black and white color scheme. It just looks so natural on Mark 1. What's not so natural though is the base. I like that it's not the typical hexagonal Hot Toys base, but it's more for a Hall of Armor kind of pose. He's War Machine. I want him to be in some sort of action pose. So I'm gonna ditch the base. Alright, next. The newer die-cast version of Mark 1. This one came out more recently, and I wasn't gonna miss out this time. The display base is also much cooler. They totally capture the final battle scene from Iron Man 2, so I'm gonna display this one with the base. For those who collect Hot Toys, I'm curious about something. Do you prefer die-cast, or does it matter? I can see the appeal for die-cast figures, but they're just so heavy. I'm quite nervous about them falling over. The plastic version is much lighter and easier to pose, but it does feel cheaper in hand. Out of these two, I actually prefer the plastic one. Next, I don't believe I've shown this on my channel, but this is the Sub-Zero version of the Iron Man Mark 7. Okay, I broke my own rule. When Hot Toys first came to my attention, I told myself I would not get any of the Iron Man figures, even though they all look amazing. The reason is because there are just so many Iron Man suits. I knew I would get sucked into the Iron Man vortex once I get one, so I was able to resist the urge for the longest time. Until I bumped into this second-hand one. Yes, the base has turned yellow, but it's probably also why this figure was relatively cheap. But I just love the matte white look of this. And the Avengers suit is arguably the best live-action Iron Man suit. If I had to just get one, this one's a pretty good option. Besides, the Sub-Zero Iron Man looks really good next to the Milk Edition War Machine. They look like they belong together. Got a few more War Machines to go. The Endgame Iron Patriot Mark II. I rewatched Endgame recently, and I had some thoughts. I still don't understand why Rhodey got so little development, but I think I understand why they changed the colors. The concept art and the teaser clearly show that his suit was monochromatic until somewhere closer to the release date. And I believe the reason is because the final battle was just too muddy and busy for characters to stand out. They probably noticed that with how little screen time War Machine had. The general audience probably wouldn't notice him in the final battle due to his suit blending into the grey background. So they gave him the Iron Patriot colors to make him pop, so that you can at least see the red and blue in the background. Anyway, I think the Iron Patriot will look better in the middle shelf, and the diecast Mark I can go on the bottom. That way, the two Mark Is aren't too close together. And my final Hot Toys figure, the Infinity War Mark IV suit. It's really a shame that many of these suits barely got time to shine. I would love to see the Mark IV more. It's such a beautiful design. It does look really good next to the Endgame suit too. I guess if the Endgame suit were black and white, then it will make the Infinity War one look inferior. But here, they look like the perfect pair. Alright, one more Hot Toys figure to go. Obviously, it's Scarlet Witch. For the Hot Toys collectors, do you have this Scarlet Witch figure? And if so, did you get the deluxe version with the base? Or just the basic version? I still don't know if the base is worth it. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to have a screen-accurate base, but I can't say I love it. It's likely because I just refuse to put her in the sitting pose. It's not a pose I like on figures. I prefer her standing. But that makes the multiverse Orby thing a little odd floating above her. Anyway, I still love my Wanda. But if I were to recommend, I think the regular version is just as good. And speaking of regular version, I also pre-ordered the Hot Toys Infinity Saga Wanda figure. The regular one. The one with the sculpted hair. I think she'll look really nice next to Scarlet Witch. And that's likely going to be my final Hot Toys figure. I don't need any more, and I'm happy with what I have. But there's still 2 more slots, and I know exactly who to put in the middle one. Omnimon. I believe this is the tallest figure I own. I have nothing bad to say about this figure. It's got a wired cape, the paint looks amazing, and it comes with tie and mat. Oh, it also came with a display stand. I had Omnimon on the stand before, but I'm gonna go without this time. This figure is so big that it's actually a challenge fitting him into the cabinet. There. Okay, let me bring the rest of my displays over. Done. Finally. Everything is at the new place now. Here's what I'm thinking. On this side, I can put all my mini displays. Let's see how that looks. Everything fits perfectly. These ones on the left are outdated. They don't really need to be there. So that means I still have a bit of room to add more. Alright, time to organize the full-size displays. Okay, Wondagore is staring at me. That should go on the top row, right in the middle. This is a relatively simple display, but it just looks so epic. And speaking of Wanda, Westview can go up here. I can use it to block the light switches. And Wanda and Agatha also have unlimited airspace to fight in too. Next, the animated X-Men Danger Room display. Oh wait, the Star Portal. One of the coolest props I've made. And it goes so well with Wondagore as well. Beautiful. Okay, back to the animated X-Men Danger Room display. If I were to rank my displays, this one's up there in the top 3. I need to cover up the other light switches. The Pokemon Amiibo display should do the trick. It's too wide to fit into my shelves anyway. Let me grab my other animated display. My Spider-Verse display. I'll put this close to the center, but on the other side, so that it's not too close to the X-Men display. I'm gonna put my Shang-Chi's display up at the top. This is another one of those displays that are just too wide. And my Batman and Robin one can go here. Sanctum Sanctorum can go on the opposite end. Asgard here. Okay. Temporal Loom Room can go at the far end. Vormir. Color-wise is very similar to the Spider-Verse display, so I'm gonna put it as far away from it as possible. I do want it higher up this time, because I had it at the bottom row for the longest time. A couple more displays to go. Endgame Final Battle. I want this one in the center. It was the one that started it all for me. And speaking of Avengers, Age of Ultron. I want the Avengers displays to be far apart as well, so this is gonna go at the bottom corner. The No Way Home one can go there. Almost there. The Tony Stark Legacy display can go here to separate all the browns. Cerebro. Gotta make sure it's not too close to the other X-Men display, so it's gonna go at the bottom right corner. She-Hulk. This display is cool, but it only features one figure, so it's gonna go on top of the cabinet. Ah, look at that. Everything's going well so far. Let me time skip. Oh great, there is more. This is getting tougher. Ship of Theseus. I like you a lot, so you're going up top. Another one of my favorites is the Citadel. There. These two are oversized, so they're gonna go on top of the cabinets too. The Stark Tower display is still too big. It barely fits up there. Oh, you know what? I'm running out of space on top of the cabinets. but there's still plenty of empty shelf space. So I guess Vestview can go back into the cabinet. That way I can put the animated Batman display up there. And the rest of the displays will go into the empty slots. Wait, there's still an empty slot at the dead center. Let me put something more unique there, like the Soundwave mask I made. Okay, a couple more slots at the bottom. Perfect for my photo books. I love these books. There will be a day where I won't have a toy room anymore. At least have these books to grow old with. And the last little bit of props and stuff. Bam! This is what my toy room looks like so far. There's still a few more slots for more displays. But I realized that's because I used to have 2 of these cabinets for my Beast Wars figures. I think I'll display them on the outer 2 cabinets, but they're still currently boxed up. So until then, I'm gonna leave my room like this. For those who stuck around, thank you. This has been a very long video. Give this video a like if you're enjoying my move journey so far. I still need to unbox my figures and figure out my workspace. So until then, stay inspired and I'll see you soon. I can make it, so can you.